Hey, everyone. This is Dr. Crystal Richardson. So extremely happy to be with you today here on The World Speaks. Today, we're going to talk about born for impact. Born for impact. So what does that mean? What does it mean to you to have impact in the world? What does it mean to you to make a positive difference? Because the word impact alone does not mean it's going to be something positive. You can have a negative impact on the world, or you can have a positive one. So part of what we're going to go over today are some things that hold us back from our impact, which also, in relation to what I do as a wealth strategist, it holds us back also from our monetization. So for me, impact is something that is life-changing. It's what helps us to leave a legacy, right? A positive legacy. Let's make sure that we always put that word on the front of anything that it is that we want to say about what it is that we want to do. So as we talk today about the things that hold us back related to what we were born to do, related to impact, we're also going to give some things that can propel us, okay? And so for those who have propelled, for those who have succeeded, for those who have made a positive difference in the world, I want to show this to you on something we're doing later on this year, and we would love, love, love to have you be a part, or someone that you know that has had a positive impact. We'll be right back. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to The World Speaks here on LIGTV. And this is the home of short, powerful content at Life Innovation Global. We would love, love, love to have you here as a guest, as a show host, to have your commercial here, or to have a short segment. We have a number of people that are working on their shows that have mentioned that they are interested in what we're doing here, and we would love to have you be a part of it. All right, today we're talking about born for impact. As we are born, hopefully it's a joyous occasion for our parents when we are born. Hopefully we come into this world kicking and screaming and taking our first breath and letting out all the sounds that babies make. Can you hear the baby right now? You know, when they slap the baby on the behind, or when the baby just comes out screaming because like this is their first time, like, ew, yuck, being out in the cold air of this world. So as that happens, we then, from that moment on, have an opportunity to have a positive impact in the world, mediocre or a negative impact, or what's worse? No impact at all, or a negative impact? I would say that both of those run neck and neck for being worse. So as we talk about today, what we need to do to actually be born for impact and born for impact, I want you, as usual, to take a few notes, if you so choose, so that you can have something to refer back to as we move through this show for today. Now, for those who've had positive impact, kudos to you. Let me just clap my hands together for that. And we do have our 2025 Global Awards that will be coming up the end of this year. Now, it doesn't matter what year you look at this particular show, you can go on lifeinnovationglobal.com and see if we have an award show going on for that particular year. That's lifeinnovationglobal.com and see if we have an awards show going on that particular year. So born for impact and born for impact. Now, why did I say it twice? Part of the reason is that we are initially born into this world, as I mentioned, related to when we come out kicking and screaming from our mother's womb, right? However, as we grow, some of us understand our assignment and our purpose in this world very early. I know for me, myself, I didn't necessarily understand all of what was going on, but I've always been creative, always been innovative, always have had opportunities to show that. Part of it was forced upon me when my brother would take apart my toys, take the little motor out, or take something off of something that I had, and he would make a toy or something with it. And I'm like, okay, wow. I try to turn on whatever it is and it doesn't work. So what do? The next night I put on all my black ski mask. No, I'm just kidding. Like a robber, like a thief, and go into his room and maybe take back what was mine, but also maybe take something else and make something. So we had where we would go back and forth doing these things. And my father was innovative. My mother, my grandparents, we would, if there was an old broken down lawnmower, or even if it wasn't broken down, we would borrow the wheels off of it and make a go-kart. We always had various things that we were doing, making, creating, and being innovative in. We did have a ladder, but what would we do if there were boards laying around? We would hammer them together with some nails and make our own ladder to climb up on top of the garage, rake the leaves together, and to jump off of the garage into the leaves. Now, leaves in a pile are not really all that soft. They really don't break the fall that much, but we were being innovative. We were being kids. We were being maybe reckless. We were being adventurous, and jumping off the garage was always so much fun. I don't know why, but it was. But what I'm getting to, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're born into this world, but then we're also born into this world. The moment that we understand that we can look around and create, that we can look around and innovate, that we can look around and maybe change something in this very interesting world for the good of maybe initially ourselves, the good of our family, the good of our friends, the good of our community, the good of our state, our nation, and the world. So there's some people that understand that and get that, or there's some parents that understand that and get that. And so when their children are being creative, when they have an imagination and they want to make this and make that and do this and do that, whether it makes noise or not, they allow them to go for it. Now, I want to admonish parents, aunties, uncles, grandmas, whoever it is that raise children, foster parents. Yeah, sometimes things may get a little noisy, may get a little cluttered, or a little maybe what you think is out of hand when your child is being creative. But if you shush them, if you tell them not to do that, if you say that, this is too messy, and you can have them clean it up, after, or this is too loud, and why are you doing this? Stop doing that. Then you are stifling their creativity. You are stifling something that could be the next best thing to have impact, the next best thing to be able to monetize. So I want to request today that one of the things that can hold us back, which I mentioned at the beginning of the show, what are the things that hold us back? One of the things that can be holding us back is us, if we don't attempt to create as well as those that care for us. So as children, we hopefully have a mindset that we are going to listen to our elders, listen to those that are taking care of us, and have where we don't get put out by not following the rules and guidelines of the house. And so part of this is the responsibility of those who are taking care of us to see and understand, like, wow, they're pretty creative. Now, it may look really, really crazy if they're doing a drawing. It may look like, is that a head or is that a stomach? Like, what is that? Or, they're playing a song, like, listen to this, and it sounds like pretty interesting, and they're screeching and all of this. But how do you even start? Like, you have to start somewhere. Now, some people are gifted and talented, and as soon as they sit down, they're able to play a melody. I wasn't necessarily one of those people, but then I did turn into one of those people because I was on the piano. My mother played piano, so I would mock what she would do, in meaning that I would play by ear based on some of the things that she would play, the easy version of what it was that she would play. And then she sat the music in front of me and taught me notes, and then had where she gave me, allowed me to go for piano lessons. Now, if she had not done that, and when I sit down, just playing all these crazy notes, get away from that piano, I would never have known how to compose the many, many, many songs that I've done today that have been sung by hundreds of people. So it's very important for us to nurture the potential impact in our children. And nurturing the potential impact in our children also stands for adults. Because if you are just starting something as an adult, as a young adult, even as a senior citizen, it may not come out the same as it would if it's somebody who's doing it for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 years. So you still can be a child. You still can be born at a later age, having your impact be born at a later age. So I want to challenge you on today to think about what are the things that may be holding you back, and think about who may be holding you back. And if you look around and there's no one, then it may be that it's you. It may be that it's me. So as we get into some of the other areas in this show today, I'll go right back to that one statistic that we do talk about a lot, which is, there's 92% of people that make New Year's resolutions do not see those resolutions and those plans and those goals fulfilled, because they give up like right after they make it, or they don't even go back to it, or they go back to it maybe 1 or 2 times, and then the year is gone, because time moves fast, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, oh my gosh, it's almost time for the holidays. If you're one of those people that celebrate the holidays that are towards the end of the year. So I just want to challenge you to not let time go by. Every single day, there's things that we create potentially in the kitchen or related to our outfits if they don't come out, or have like a button missing or something that's going on, or could even be our phone case. People are dropping their phones these days, and if they don't have a screen protector, it could crack, or there's a button that might need to be duct tape on, not on your phone, but on something, So it is where we always have different things that we potentially do to make something work. Now, either it's us or we send it to be repaired, and sometimes it maybe can't be repaired, but they'll do something like, they'll patch it in some way. You're trying to screw something on, the screw, it gets stripped when you're turning it, and now it just spins around and it won't even catch because it's been stripped. There's crazy glue, there's Gorilla Glue, there's all different kinds of things that you can use depending on, where it is, to just get it to stop spinning and hopefully stay put. So what is spinning in your life, and what is it that we need to stay put in our life? And how is that something that maybe we could even see? Is it something that someone else needs? Like, this happens to a lot of people. So let me think about how I could potentially market this. How could I maybe do a focus group and see, have you ever had this problem? Oh, you have you had this problem too? Okay, well, maybe this is something that we could work on, have an impact in the world, and at the same time, potentially monetize it. So as we talk about Born for Impact, there are so many different things that happen to us in our life. There's so many people that we contact. There's so many days that go by that there's things that we need to figure out. So what do? We either panic and have an issue, fall apart, just become stagnant because, oh my gosh, this is just too much. Or we take it head on and give up right away when we can't figure it out. Or we take it head on and we think about what are the potential solutions. Now, in engineering, there's a method called failure modes effects analysis. Failure modes effects analysis. So when something breaks down or it hasn't even, you haven't even started using it yet, you can do a potential assessment of these are things that, you know, that might happen. And then how would I mitigate that? And mitigation means like, how would I take care of this or be able to check this so that I can ensure that this thing won't happen? Or if it does happen, what will I do about it? So when we're doing these analysis in various types of companies from an engineering perspective, it's the same thought process and the same thing that we do in our life, but we just don't call it that. So your tire comes off of your car, or you get a flat tire. You panic or just lay out in the middle of the street on the road and like, okay, I'm never going to make it to where I need to go, so I'm not even going to try. Or you attempt to change your tire, or you call someone, a relative, or you call AAA or some other type of organization, service organization that would be able to help you with the tire. So Born for Impact really gets down to, ladies and gentlemen, problem solving and troubleshooting. Troubleshooting and problem solving. Problem solving and troubleshooting, troubleshooting and problem solving. So if we are born for impact, we need to have the resolve. We need to have the resilience. We need to have where we dig deep down inside for the recipe of how we can take that next step to troubleshoot, problem solve, and then go into potentially prevention. Because you see, we can problem solve and we can troubleshoot, but if we don't put in a prevention step, then we have the possibility that that same thing may happen again. And part of one of the steps of Born to Impact and troubleshooting and problem solving is being able to communicate. Now, I have this book right here, The 51 Powerful P's of Public Speaking. And it goes into various models and various P's, everything starts with a P, that you can use as you are troubleshooting, as you are problem solving, as well as if you would like to be on stage. So when we get back, we're going to go over some other points related to Born for Impact. And the word that we're going to talk about next is the word vulnerability. But right now, I want to show you some information about this book, The 51 Powerful P's of Public Speaking, and hopefully you'll pick up your copy today. Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to The World Speaks here on Life Innovation Global TV, the home of short, powerful content. If you are interested in having a commercial, having where you come to our studio here to be a guest, or to have a show segment, or to be in the studio audience, we would love, love, love to have you. Please contact us at lifeinnovationglobal.com. That's lifeinnovationglobal.com. All right, today we're talking about Born for Impact. Born for Impact. And the word that I want to talk about that I mentioned before we went to break is the word vulnerability. And so as we look at this word, I want us to think about, what does vulnerability do and what does it look like? Vulnerability is us sharing something that could potentially be embarrassing, potentially be something that we don't want people to know, potentially something that is hurtful to us, something that we have not gotten over yet, something we're still in the middle of attempting to get over, something that is potentially considered or could be considered a flaw in our personality, a flaw in our character, a flaw in how we operate in this world. But I'm here to tell you today that those things can also be our strength. They could be considered our superpower. They could also be considered the thing that moves us into another very important word, which is connection. 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 So as we think about being vulnerable in front of total strangers, or even in front of people that we know, it's very clear to me now that, as I've been doing my best to be more open and honest with myself about how I've put myself in a box in various things, or how I've been a people pleaser in various situations, or how I've attempted to come out of my shell as I would say maybe a current or a former introvert, that it does create some vulnerable situations. So as we think about those things, and as I think about, even my fear at like some of the fears that are mentioned in Think and Grow Rich, the fear of failure, the fear of dying, like there's like a lot of different fears that he has. When I think about some of those fears, for me, it reminds me that there are almost 8 billion people in this world. And there's probably someone else that has either that same fear or a similar fear. So I'm not alone. And even if I was, like, so what? A lot of times we put too much pressure on ourselves, and being vulnerable helps people to connect. The word is connect, helps them to see themselves in our vulnerability, or it allows them to maybe not see themselves in our vulnerability, but have compassion or empathy in a way that, wow, she or he is actually a real person. They're not perfect. So they may have achieved certain things in their life, but if they can achieve those things in their life with the things that have gone on in their life, or with some of the things that they're still attempting to get over, maybe I can too. So it doesn't mean that you're over it yet. It just allows people to have where they have that view that maybe they could go forward and live their best life as well, and really then believe that they were born for impact. So when we talk about vulnerability, we talked about the word connection. And so we also should talk about the word that reflects all of what I've just been talking about, which is authenticity. 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 Because you see, that word basically just means that we are real. And so many people put on a face, they put their best face on for social media when they meet someone. Oh, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing great. But are you really? Are you really? Now it is where, we need to move forward with gratitude, thanksgiving, and have where we exude that. But if we're really not doing well, we can say that, well, going through some things right now, but praise God anyhow. I'm moving forward in his grace and in his love, and I know that he can make a way. So that's not saying that you're doing great. What it's saying is that you're being real. You have maybe potentially something going on, but you have faith that God is going to see you through. Or it may not even be a faith-based comment. Oh, how are you doing today? Woke up, as some people might say, on the wrong side of the bed, but I'm alive. This is a new day, a new start. I'm going to make the best of it. Now, if we go into a lot of information about it, especially if it's someone that we don't know, then you've just dumped on them, which is not appropriate either, potentially, in my opinion, because now they have all this heavy weight, wow, sorry, I asked how she was doing. Now, if you say something like what I just said, and then they say, the old tell me more, not in those words, but, oh, what's going on, sis? What's going on, brother? Or how can I help? Or if you need someone to talk to, let me know. Then that gives you that open door to potentially go into some other things. But born for impact means that authenticity is key. The connection is key, related to the word vulnerability. And part of what we talked about earlier is pushing through to look around and to see how you can be more creative in your life. See how you could maybe fix something that potentially has failed, that now you're saying, this is how I can maybe fix this, and this is how I can prevent this from happening again. All companies need troubleshooters and problem solvers. So if it is where you're a W-2 or a 1099, where you're a full-time employee or want to be, or you're a consultant, contractor, specialist in a particular area, and you would be a 1099 type employee, it would be very advantageous for you to obtain, and to master troubleshooting and problem solving. Because that's a lot of what I do for companies on a daily basis, both of those. So when we think about it in that manner, then it helps us to know that we were not just born into this world, but we were born for impact. Born for impact. So the next thing that we're going to go into related to born for impact is to talk about the what if factor. The what if factor. So what I'm going to do right now is just thank our TV network, and then we are going to discuss the what if factor. We'll be right back. Hey, everyone. This is Dr. Crystal Richardson. Happy to be with you today. We are talking about Born for Impact. And some of the stats that we talked about earlier is that, 92% of people on average, based on some studies, do not achieve their New Year's resolution goals. And so part of that means that there's 8% of the people that do. That's a pretty low number. So if we're going to be born for impact, we need to get going, not just on New Year's resolution goals, but just moving forward in our goals in general. And how do we do that? Part of it is having the mindset that we do have great ideas inside of us. Even if we were held back, as I started the show, by a parent, grandparent, auntie, uncle, foster parent, whoever it was that helped to raise us. Even if we were held back, like, you really wanted to play in the mud, you really wanted to build things with some of the the extra boards that were in the garage. You really wanted to make a mess in the kitchen. No, you really wanted to cook something. For me, I wanted to reupholster our couch. So I was watching this show, and so I drew the line as they did, around, and then what you would need to cut. And I was in so much trouble because I drew this big line across the bottom of the couch, up the armrest, across the top, and with a wax pencil. And so I had to scrub and clean that whole thing and try to get all of that out. But it was just not a really great experience. But I was going to reupholster our couch. I mean, but my parents didn't necessarily. I think I probably did. Back then, you get a whooping. I think I might have gotten a whooping for that. I'm not sure. But other things they did allow me to do. I don't know if I was about to, after the commercial break, when they came back and it was time to start cutting, was I going to cut the couch? I have no clue at this point, many years ago. But if someone has held us back, we cannot have, or we hold on to that. And part of that is like understanding like what happened in my childhood, your childhood, that caused you to be apprehensive about making changes or creating. And it might be because of a situation like that, if they just shut everything down and shut it down in you. So please come out of the closet and let's have a great impact. The next thing I talked about was vulnerability, having connection, being authentic. Okay. So now what we're going to talk about is the what if factor. The what if. So born for impact. There could be 1,000,001 what ifs. The first one is for you, which one? What if it works, or what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? A lot of times we go straight to the negative. But I say, what if it does work? Or I also say, what if? What if? So as we explore what if and how that would work in our life, let us think about the answers. What if no one wants to buy my product or service? What if no one wants to partner with me to help me move this forward? What if no one wants to be on my team? What if no one wants to listen to my pitch? What if no one wants to give me funding? You hear how this is going? The opposite. What if someone wants to help me move this forward? What if someone wants to be a partner with me on this? What if we could do a joint venture? What if I could start a team, form a team? What if people want to be on my team? What if people see my vision and hear the enthusiasm in my voice and want to be a part of this? What if people see my vision and are so excited that they want to invest in this? They want to help fund my idea. What if there's so many people in this particular niche area that want my product or service? Do you see the difference in how that sounds? So I want to encourage you on today to not just go for the negative, but to have that fire and that enthusiasm in your voice that makes people excited about what it is that you're doing. And that you have the data and the information to also back it up. You see, there's so many times that we move forward in these various areas, and there's no information for people to really grasp onto depending on their personality type. Because some people are okay with the fluff, and other people want to know a little bit more about what it is that you're talking about so that they can sink their teeth into, as they say, the data related to what it is that you're saying and doing. And what I mean by that is there's all different personality types, all different personality types. And sometimes people want to have a little bit more than just the rah, rah, rah about your idea. So when we think about that and we do our due diligence and we either look up information that's already out there about something that's similar, or we do studies and create our own information, then we're that much closer to people being, again, very excited about what it is that we're doing and wanting to be involved, partner with us, potentially fund us, or buy our product. But at least have enough information that, again, depending on what personality type we're talking about, they at least come away with saying, oh, tell me more. And part of this has to do with the resiliency factor as well, because we have to keep going, keep going, keep going, even if we get rejection, 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 rejection after rejection, because that next one could be the 3 feet from gold type factor. There's a book by Great, and there's other people that are in the book called, 3 Feet from Gold, related to the Napoleon Hill Foundation. And during the time of the gold rush, it talks about a story where they were 3 feet from gold. And then the people that came along after them went to the same point that they went to, but they went 3 more feet. And they were able to achieve what they went there for, which was to find gold. So I ask you, what if you stop too soon? What if you give up on yourself? What if you don't have enough determination and desire? But what if you do? What if you don't stop? What if you keep going and nothing happens, but you keep going 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now and something does happen? You see, part of this has to do with us just sticking it out. So Born for Impact is also where people are watching us and they're watching our story, they're watching our journey. And they can say, wow, it seems that she even believed in herself when no one else did. She kept going even though everyone thought that she was a little wacko. He's been through a lot, and I don't know how he's going to make it out of this. He's actually almost homeless or homeless right now. Why does he still have a smile on his face? Why does he still keep chasing that dream? Born for Impact is something that you have to know. So as we get ready to wrap up the show for today, I want to remind us that we were all meant to be creative. We were all born to create. We were all born to innovate. We were all born to have impact. We were all born to join together your gifts and my gifts, to network and to brainstorm so that we can have an even greater and bigger impact in the world. Because our impact is not just for us. It's for our children and our children's children. It's for our families. It's for our communities, our nation, and the world. Depending on what it is, a lot of these things are transferable, where they can work here and they can work other places in the world. And it might be that what you're creating may not work here because of environmental conditions, but it could work somewhere else. That's why having a global perspective related to Born for Impact is very important. And that is why I always talk about global. So as you go forward over these next few days, no matter when it is that you've watched this show, I would really, really, really be very happy to hear from you on lifeinnovationglobal.com. Go to the contact page on lifeinnovationglobal.com and have where you tell us what it was that you thought you were born for impact for and what it is that you're thinking you're born for impact for now. And what I mean by that is sometimes after we get more information or after it's a new year or after certain things happen in our life, there was one thing we thought that was our purpose in the world. And now we found out that we have like a new one. Or it may be that we were just working on various assignments that are leading and marching us toward our purpose. So if you could contact us and let us know, did your purpose change? Did your assignments change? Like, what was it that you were thinking was something that you wanted to work on and do that it's actually now has changed to be something else? Now, this happens also with people that are in corporate America or were in corporate America, and now they have where they are in their second win, they're in their second phase of their life, they're about to retire, they've already retired, or they've already left, and now they want to do something else. So if you're in that season, I'd love to talk to you about how you would be able to move forward to still be born for impact. Because it may be that you have just been doing your job for all this time and just fulfilling the vision of the company that you've worked for, but not really doing something that is a thing that you are meant to bring into this world. Now, we all need to make money however we make money to survive and even thrive, by having a job. But I want to implore you to think about, is there something that I could actually create that is all from me or from, a few of my business partners, that is not just for a company or corporation that you're working for, but something that is your very own, that you were born to put out into this world? I believe that everybody has something like that. Everybody has something that they were meant to put out into the world. And for those of us that have done that, there is a very special award ceremony that we're having towards the end of this year. I'll show that and we'll have closing comments and we'll be done for today. But you were born for impact. And thank you for all those who have had great impact in the world. This is something great that we have coming up for you. Hey everyone, this is Dr. Crystal Richardson. Great to have you on today. I hope you have gotten something out of the Born for Impact show and that you would share this show with someone for them to maybe do a little bit of an assessment of where they stand related to their impact and where they stand based on how can they move forward to be better, do better, and even be heard in a way that they haven't been heard ever before. Because we are born out of our mother's womb, but we are also born for impact. And that starts with you understanding that today is a new day. Today is a new day. Today is a new day. And it is my day to have a choice. It's my day to run, to jump, and to succeed, or it's my day to have where I just sit back and let life happen to me versus happening for me. So, are we allowing life to happen to us or for us? Are we having the impact and being the change that we want to see in the world? Part of the show today is to know that we are born from our mother's womb, and then we are born the day that we wake up and understand that we are creative, we are innovative, and that thing that I continue to fix every week or every other week or whenever it is that I fix it, there might be other people that are having this same issue, and maybe that's something that I can offer to the world. Maybe, just maybe. So thank you for being on with us today. And I hope you have a blessed, blessed, blessed day. And one thought I want to leave you with related to impact is my elementary school teachers were very extremely important to me. And they believed in all of us. But being, this little girl from Flint, Michigan, that had where, she was bullied, she was this, she was that. I didn't let that stop me. And part of that was because I had my parents, I had teachers that believed in me, even though they could see, some of the kids got in trouble, some of them didn't because they were sneaky doing some of the different things that they would do. But they could see from time to time that I was having a hard time. So I just want to say to you, look around, be sensitive, have discernment related to your family and friends, your nieces, nephews, people on your block. Kindness is something that's free. So why not share it? Why not be kind? Why not have where you say a kind word, that you smile, that you give a compliment to someone rather than just walking by? A smile is free. A compliment is free. Some people can't handle compliments, but a compliment is free. A smile is free. Holding a door open, a kind word. All of these are things that will make this world a better place and be that one thing that helps someone to lift their head up and maybe say to themselves, maybe I am born for impact. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, always keep rising.